give an overview of the IELTS general training writing. I think I've done a bit of that already. Then identifying different types of letters. I'm going to tell you how to identify whenever I say a question, how to identify the one that is a formal letter, how to identify the one that is a semi-formal, and then an informal type of letter. Then I'm going to teach you the steps on how to write a band 8.0 type of letter. There are actually a few rules to work with, so if you just master them, you're good to go. So let's move on. I've told you that you will require to write a minimum of 150 words. So anything between 150 to 200 is fine, you understand? Because you'll be able to do that within 20 minutes. It shouldn't be too much. It shouldn't be over 200. Anything over 200 would be a waste of your time, actually. And I encourage my students, when you're giving your, when you're starting your writing, the writing part of the test, please begin with your writing task 2, which is your essay. Begin with it. After writing your essay, then you move on to your letters, because they won't tell you, okay, this is 40 minutes, this is 20 minutes, stop writing, move on to your next task. No, they just give you 1 hour. Then you'll be the one to use your discretion to split the time between the 2 tasks. But if you're someone that's been practicing, it should be easy for you to know when to finish up your task 2 and move on to your task 1. So I'm saying that task 1 doesn't require that processing of thoughts and your plan and everything. You see that it's faster to write it after writing your task 2. You see that it's easy to now quickly write your letter before your 1 hour is exhausted. So that's by the way. Then types of letters that you see. You can either be given a formal letter to write. They won't tell you that it's a formal letter, they just give you a question. So this is how to identify a formal letter. Whenever you're asked to write to a company, organization, institution, or a corporation, just know that it's actually a formal letter that you're being asked to write. For instance, like a typical question that you get to ask, you can say, okay, you missed your flight due to a certain incident at airport, which was the fault of the particular maybe flight agency you're using or something like that. They will now tell you, write to the airline and complain to them, explain to them why you missed your flight, all those kind of things. Just know that that is the formal letter, because you are asked to write to a company or a corporation. They told you, write to the airline. They didn't mention anybody's name. So just know that that letter is a formal letter. There's a particular greeting that you need to use for this type of letter. You have to begin with Dear Sir or Madam. Dear Sir or Madam, because you don't know who you're writing to. Then another one could be a job application, when they give you a question and say, okay, write to, you saw a vacancy on a website or a billboard or a newspaper, write to the company, write to this, write to the HR department, something like that. And then is a formal letter. And then semi-formal letters. This is very interesting, but once I explain it to you, to be easy for you to identify. Semi-formal letter is usually like someone that you know, that you're acquainted with, but you are not friends with. I've written some examples here. Imagine your immediate boss at work. You know this person, you know their names, but the relationship you have with this person is not a personal relationship. The person is not like your friend. Do you understand? So that is a typical example of a semi-formal letter. It could be a friend. This is a tricky one now. A friend. It could be like a friend, but the topic in question has to do with an official, something that is official, you understand? When you're writing to your friend about work, or you're complaining, you're trying to like relate to your friend a particular challenge you have at work, or you're trying to invite your business to partner with you to do a business. You're asking your friend to advise you on a business you want to do, or on a particular assignments, maybe official assignment that you want to do, or a career advice, something related to work, you understand? It's a semi-formal letter. That's the only exception to semi-formal letters where it has to be to your friend. So just know that difference. You're not writing the letter to banter with your friend or to laugh and all that. It's about an official issue. Then it could be to a neighbor. Maybe you want to do a party with your friends at home. So you're writing to your neighbor that, okay, tomorrow at a particular time, please pardon us if you hear any noise from my apartment, about to do a party, something like that. Or you're writing to your neighbor, you're complaining to your neighbor that his children are noisy, they disturb you a lot, something like that. Or you're writing to a landlord, your landlord concerning a particular issue. All these things are semi-formal letters because you actually know these people, but the relationship you have with them are not personal. So you usually begin the letters with this greeting: Dear Mr., Dear Mrs. It could be like, you could just use a name and a surname, but use the title with it. So just imagine you're writing to your boss. It's proper to say, Dear Mr., for instance, Mr. Chris Okafor, Mr. Shegun Obe, something like that. And if it's your friend, you can decide to use your friend's first name. You can decide to use your friend's first name because it's your friend, you understand? You can say, maybe you're writing to your friend, his name is Joseph, or his name is Kunle. You can say, Dear Kunle, you understand, because it's your friend. But when you're now writing, your tone, your language or your tone will be like a kind of official, because what you're talking about is an official issue, you understand? And then it could be a lecturer. Maybe you see questions where they say, okay, you're a student at the university, you need to discuss your projects with your project supervisor, but okay, you have a meeting with him, but due to a particular emergency, you won't be able to attend the meeting. Write a letter to him to tell him about that. So that can be an example of a semi-formal letter. And then informal letters are very easy to identify because they're basically letters that you write to your friend concerning, it's mostly in IELTS, it's mostly about maybe a holiday. You're trying to invite your friend, maybe you and your friend planned a holiday, but due to a particular issue that came up, you cannot. So write to your friend apologizing, telling them that you want them to reschedule with you and all that. It could be maybe you want to travel and then you need your friend to look after your apartment. Okay, write to your friend telling them, okay, this is when you're traveling. You need them to be at your apartment at so day, and thank them for willing to help you. Or you want to travel to a country, your sister's friend lives in that country. Write to that your sister's friend, telling them, asking them what they think you should bring, what activities you should be expecting to do in that country, and things like that. So those are typical examples of informal letters. Now, those type of letters, you can just begin them with their first name or even a nickname. You can say Dear, and then put a shortened version of their name. You understand? Is a personal letter. And then a unique thing about personal letters is that the language that you use is not formal. You are free to use contractions here. You are free to use things like can't, I can't make it, I won't be able to show up, I couldn't, you understand? All those contractions, out, as the way you use I, then apostrophe, then D. You understand? You should be intentional about this when you're writing. You should intentionally use contractions. This is to clearly show the examiner that, see, I know that this is an informal letter. You understand? So, these are one of the things you should know about letters. Then let's move on.
So I have a question.
Yeah, please go on.
is this all this type of letter that will come out in the exam, or there are particular ones that we know they always come out, or they pick it at random?
Yes, any of these three types. You understand? It's just like the way we have different types of essays. So any of those essays will give you any of them. It's the same way for your letter. It could be, they could give you an informal letter, a personal letter, or a semi-formal letter. So I was just like giving you examples of as in type of questions, common questions that you can see. In the next slides, I'm going to show you some questions, sample questions, you understand? Then we'll see if you can identify them. Did I answer your question? Do you understand what I said?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They'll just ask you one where it will be any of this type, one from any of this type of letters. So we need to teach you all the types and different sample questions, like introduce you to different sample questions so that by the time we are done, whichever one appears on Thursday, you know how to answer it. So that's the idea. So let's move on. From all the things I've explained, let's test. Let's see if you can identify the different type of letter. Can you see this one? Is it clear? Can you read the question? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So a friend has written to you asking for advice about the problem at work. You have had a similar problem in the past. Write a reply to your friend. In your letter, tell your friend you understand the problem. Explain what happened to you in the past. Suggest possible solutions to the problem. So this is the way the questions usually come out. There will always be 3 bullet points here. This is how it comes out. Then below it, I'm going to, in the comment slides, I'll show you the prompts that they usually put below the question, the prompts. Where they'll say, okay, write a minimum of 150 words. And you should begin with dear, then they'll leave a blank, dear, blank. They'll say you don't need to write any address. Yes, you do not need to write any address in this test. You understand? You just begin with dear. I will show you, but in the comment slide, you see it. So from what I've explained, what type of letter is this?
I believe this is an informal letter. Because although the person is asking about advice for work, which is pretty normal between friends, like it's something I can do. I can just call up my friend and ask about, I'm having this problem, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I think it is informal.
Okay, so what is the topic here? What is the subject of this letter now? You know, there was an exception I told you when it comes to writing to a friend. Let's go back to the slide. Yeah. See, semi-formal letter. Written to someone you're acquainted with but not friends. Or written to a friend about an official issue. What do you think about this? Is it not something related to an official something? It's about work. It's not about holiday, planning a visit, hanging out, doing a birthday party, coming to look. You understand? It's related to work. So you're not about to write to your friend and say, hey, how you doing? Let's go and hang out, let's do a party, which is a typical IELTS kind of example of informal letter. A typical informal letter in IELTS is usually like writing to a friend about a holiday, birthday party, maybe looking after my apartment, or like apologizing to them for not meeting up with a planned trip, traveling together. Yes, you both wanted to travel together, but you can't meet up with that arrangement. You get? But this one now is about work, because the person is telling that she needs, see the question. A friend has been asking for advice, you understand? Advice, person is asking for advice. So it's not a fun kind of, the subject here is not a fun or a light kind of issue. So this is a semi-formal letter. The thing is that you don't need to write it on the test day, before you begin your letter that, this is a semi-formal. No. But why you need to know is because it will affect your tone and the way you begin and finish up. For instance, now, any letter you begin with a name and a title should close with yours faithfully. No, yours sincerely, sorry. Yours sincerely. Please let it stick. Please write it down. I'm still going to show you in a slide, but it just came up now.
So a letter like this is yours sincerely or
yours sincerely?
Informal?
No, yours sincerely.
Okay.
Yours sincerely, because it's a semi-formal letter. So, but seeing that this one is a friend, so you can begin with the person's first name, but you should end with something like yours sincerely, because it's a semi-formal letter. So that is that. But just any letter you write.
Sorry.
Do you want to say something? Why are you saying something?
Yeah, you said if it's to a friend, we should begin with their name. So are we just going to make up a name, or
you make up? Yes. You make up.
Yeah.
See, the way idea is to essay. That's the way imagination or making up of ideas or whatever. Being imaginative is to letter writing. Letter writing, you need to imagine, you need to think up, just cook up in this case now, you need to cook up a problem. That this is a problem at work. Then you have to, for instance, this first bullet point, you have to know what to, just imagine something and put it as your main idea for this first bullet point. And the same thing, that's what you just do for the 3 bullet points. So the way you have to have an idea for your essay, that's where you have to imagine things for your letter here. So that's how it is with letters. Did I answer your question?
Yes, definitely.
So we're just identifying different types of letters. We're still going to show you how to write these letters. So which type of letter do you think this one is? You are applying for a job and need a letter of reference. Write a letter to a former teacher. In your letter, give details of the job, explain why it is important to you, suggest what information your teacher could put in the reference. What do you think? A former teacher.
Semi-formal.
Thank you. You're correct. You're very correct. So you know this person, but you're not friends with the person. So you begin with okay, let's imagine your teacher. Okay, give us a name. A name and a surname.
Mrs. Thompson.
A first name and a surname. Okay, that's a surname, right? Give us the first name. Give us Mrs. Kudirat Thompson, right? So that's who you begin with. Dear Mrs. Kudirat Thompson. That's what you begin the letter with, and you end it with yours sincerely, then your name and surname. That's how you end this type of letter. Any letter you begin with a title and name, or name and surname, you close it with yours sincerely, then your name and surname. The exception is the one with your friend, because it's a friend, so you say yours sincerely, then you end with your first name. That's the only exception with all these semi-formal letters. So let's take this other one. This one, you saw an advert in the newspaper asking for volunteers to help on a charity event. Write a letter of application to the organizers. In your letter, explain why you are interested in helping. Give details. There's a typo here. Give details on suitable past experience. Suggest ways you might help with the events. What do you think about this?
Oh yeah, this is a formal letter. because you are writing to another organization.
You said
The company.
yeah, letter of application to the organization, so organizers. So yeah, you're correct. What about this? Okay. What do you think about this?
This is an informal letter.
Holiday, friends, so very clear. So this one you can begin with, hello Tom, hello Frankie, hello, any shortened form of name, hello Ami, hello Dayo, just any, you can do a nickname, hello. No, please, wait, oh, did I say hello? Please, begin with dear, oh, dear, please, dear, then a first name or a nickname, you understand? Dear Francis, dear Frankie, dear Dayo, dear, you understand? Because the prompt they usually give is begin with dear, you understand? So please, it is dear, then the name, just the name or a nickname, you understand? Then you can close up with see you soon, talk to you soon, can't wait to see you, big hugs, love you, depending on whatever you are. Do you understand? Depending on what you discussed or who the person is to you. You understand? Do you get it?
Okay. Yeah.
Then your first name, right? So that's clear. Then what else? You need to take leave from your work over 1 month. Okay, what our letter do you think this is?
This is a formal letter. Well, okay, no, wait, it's to your boss. This is
someone you know. Yeah, thank you. So you're really clear on it now. So it's the boss. So you begin with the title, name and first name and surname, and you close up with yours sincerely. Yep. So now we're sure that you know how to identify your letters. This one, write a letter to the company. What do you think this one is?
Formal.
The formal letter, right? Because they asked to write to the company.
Yeah.
So it's very clear. So whenever I ask to write to an organization, a corporation, sometimes it could be to a local, maybe a government, maybe local council, local government, state government, you understand? It's a formal letter, clearly. So let's move ahead. So I was telling you that this is the prompt. Okay, someone is coming in. Who is that? She's indifferent. Okay. This is the usual prompt you'll see. Beneath that question now, in your on your question booklet, beneath the question, you usually see this prompt. So you write at least 150 words. You do not need to write any address. Then begin your letter as follows. That's how they begin it. We'll tell you to begin your letter. So let's begin with dear. Then use the correct greeting and proceed with your letters. Now, steps to write a band 8.0 letter. First of all, just as we did now, you need to identify the type of letter. Why is it important? It's important because it will define the tone you would use in the letter, and then how you begin it and how you end it. Then plan your ideas. Now, it's very easy to plan your letter. Just as I advised for your essays, you must plan before you begin. It also applies to letters. Plan. What is your plan? It's very easy. They've already given you an idea of what to do here. So for instance, let me go back to the previous slides. How to make your plan. On your question booklet, you can just write your ideas beside these bullet points. You can just imagine, okay, let's look at this question. You said you recently ordered something online. When the delivery came, it was not complete. Write a letter to the company, explain what you ordered and what was missing from your delivery. Explain the importance of this delivery, ask for a replacement item to be sent. So all you need to do in your plan is just to imagine, okay, what item should I talk about? You can say, okay, maybe it's a set of joggers, maybe like that has a jacket, the pants, that's like, you know, this tracksuit, tracksuits. So it has to come with the top, the bottoms, and maybe the sneakers. Maybe that's a complete set of the item you wanted. And then probably they sent you. So you just write here beside, you can just say, okay, tracksuits, sneakers. Then you come here, you say, explain what you ordered. Tracksuits, and sneakers. Sneakers was missing. Then come over here. Importance of the delivery, you can say, okay, maybe you got it for your birthday, like an anniversary photo shoot with your husband. So your husband has his already. The photo shoot is for tomorrow and yours is not complete. Then ask them, you can just imagine, okay, you want them to like send you the sneakers, or okay, more like you can just imagine, okay, maybe they're telling you that it's out of stock, that even though it's out of stock, okay, send me something similar to it, this other brand that's similar to it. Do you understand? So you just have to imagine things. So this is a fast way to make your plan. Just write them right beside the bullet points, your ideas. And when you're writing a letter, this, you can just expand on these things within 2-3 sentences. You've written what you want to write. You understand? It's not the way you write your essay that you need to break it down and all that. It's very easy here. So this is a fast way to make your plan here. Just imagine what it could be, then write it beside the points. So that's that. Then choose the greeting. When you've identified the type of letter to write, you already know the greeting that you would use. If it's a formal letter, you know you're going with dear sir or madam. If it's a semi-formal letter, you know it's going to be dear Mr. For instance, dear Mr. Mrs. Let's say Mrs. This is Jane, so it should be Mrs. Jane. Mrs. Jane or dear Frances. For instance, if it's an informal letter, I can write dear Frances. Then opening, you know, the tone of language that you should be using in a formal letter should be formal or official language, you understand? Like the type of language will tell you to use in your essay, like formal and official language. That is what you should be using in your formal letters. Then for your semi-formal letter is also similar to that. The only difference here is just in your informal letter. In your informal letter, that is when you can use expressions that are very relaxed, like the kind of expression you use with a friend, somebody that you're close with. You understand? The collocations that you use here are very, then just imagine that you are having a conversation with the person. But in whatever you want to write, make sure that it is still acceptable conventional English and not maybe an expression that we just use in Nigeria. That's what you should be careful about in your informal letter. Do not use expressions that we only use, like that is not proper English per se. So that's what you should be careful about in your informal letters. But make sure you use contractions. Be intentional about it in your informal letters. So because of tone of language you'll be using, you see that for your formal letters, once you begin the letter, you're going straight to your reason, the purpose for writing, and just stick with this phrase here, I'm writing to. Once you do the greetings, the greeting, dear sir or madam, your first line should be I'm writing to. So it now depends on what are you writing to apply for a job opening. So you can say I'm writing to apply for blah 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 blah. Are you writing to make a request? Are you writing to make a complaint? I'm writing to bring to your notice. Do you understand? Use that type of language. Yeah. Then something you can use in your semi-formal letter. This one can go. I'm writing to let you know. You can go for a semi-formal letter. Let you know. You can use it too. But something like ask a favor is something that you use with a friend. I'm writing to check up on you. I thought to let you know. I thought to let you know. But most times, for your informal letter, you don't just go straight to, it's not most times, as in for the informal letter actually, don't just begin with the reason, you understand? You exchange pleasantries. You'll be like, how are you doing? I hope this, do you understand? You just, after saying, dear, for instance, dear Kunle, how are you doing in your new city? I hope you're doing great. Do you understand? Just greet, pleasantries before you now write, give the reason why you're writing. We're going to see examples, don't worry. Then write your 3 body paragraphs. Supporting ideas. Supporting ideas is basically like those things you mentioned as a plan, more like to stretch them, to flesh them out in 2 or 3 sentences. Your 3 body paragraphs are basically those 3 bullet points. These 3 bullet points are very important. They are giving you the structure, the body of your letter. So once you write your greeting, reason for writing, the next body, the first body paragraph, or more like the next thing you should be writing, the next paragraph should be on this first bullet point. The next one should be on the second one. The third one should be on this third bullet point. So these 3 bullet points actually form your 3 body paragraphs. That's what it does for you. So make sure you do not deviate from them. Just answer. I'm charging my system. Just answer the questions to these 3 bullet points and it will form your body paragraph. And once you've done that, you now end your letter with a closing. For instance, if it's a formal letter, you can tell them that you hope that something will be done about this issue, or you're expecting to get a positive feedback from them. Then if it's your friend, you can tell them that, oh, you can't wait. For instance, you're writing to plan a holiday with them. Oh, you can't wait to go on this trip with them. You hope to see them soon. Or it can be like appreciation for whatever, depending on the reason for the letter. Then you now give a close, you sign off with the right greeting, depending on type of letter. So yours faithfully for a formal letter. So what I would say, yours faithfully if name is not known. So this is the typical format in formal letters. You usually do not know the name of anybody. You are writing to an organization. You began the letter with dear sir or ma. So you have to close with yours faithfully. Yes? Do you have a question?
No. I was okay.
Okay. And then yours sincerely if you use the name and the title. Then something like, these are examples of informal, how you can sign off in an informal letter. See you soon, talk to you later, can't wait to see you. So things like that. So let's move on. We're going to be seeing some sample letters that we've written to make it clearer. Okay. So to buttress on what I've said already, let's look at this. Look at this part of the slide. So you see that I indicated all those things I was explaining to you. See what I written. For formal letter, greeting, dear Salma. Opening, I am writing to inform, request, make a complaint. Sign off, yours faithfully. Tone used, formal, official. With the semi-formal letter, opening, see, dear Mr. You're using the title and the name. or title, name, and surname. Opening should be similar to that of a semi-formal letter. But just imagine if it's a friend they're writing to concern an official matter, you know that you can maybe say, okay, I received your letter, I received your letter, just a bit of familiarity, you understand? I received your letter with excitement when you told me you wanted to, you were inviting me to partner with you on this new project. Just something like that. Then before you now go on to say, okay, I'm writing to let you know that I'll be interested in teaming up with you, something like that. So that's just an exception if it's a friend that you're writing to concerning an official matter. Aside from that, any other one, if you're writing to your neighbor, you're writing to landlord, you're writing to your former teacher, you're writing to a lecturer, you're writing to your direct boss at work, a colleague at work, just go with this format tone. Signing off, yours sincerely, your name and surname. Except if it's your friend, you can use your first name. Then informal letter, dear Sammy. I wanted to say, let me say, how are you doing, bro? See the way I said bro here. So these are things I should take note of. See, the tone is very relaxed here. How are you doing, bro? I hope you're doing great. See contraction here. I hope you're doing great. See this one. Sign off. See you in a bit. So these are things you should take note of. Tone used informal. Use contractions freely. Don't, can't, shouldn't, add, etc. Okay, let's move on. Any questions? It's clear, right?
Yeah, it's very clear.
Mm-hmm. So this is an example of a letter. See this semi-formal letter we saw initially. See how we wrote it here. And this is how the question will come out. Like, this is how they put it. See how they wrote it here, and then beneath it, write at least 150 words. You do not need to write any address. Begin your letter as follows. This is the way the question will come out. It is always like this. Always like this. 3 bullet points forming your 3 paragraphs. So let's see how we did it here. See, dear Frances, how are you doing today? You know, it's a semi-formal letter, but because I'm writing to a friend, I relaxed a bit here. So how are you doing today? It was so lovely to receive your letter last week after such a long time. I thought to reply right away as the subject is quite unpleasant and needs to be tackled promptly. See the way my tone is kind of relaxed, but I'm still using like a bit of formal language here. Then I went in straight to the first bullet point. See, tell your friend you understand the problem, and I just hit it straight on. See, I can confidently tell you that I totally relate to your situation at your place of work, as I myself experienced something similar when I was a newbie. See, I use newbie here, but I can never use something like this in a formal letter. At my job, I've dealt with the first bullet point. Now the next one, explain what happened to you in the past. So this is what I wrote. My first few months at work were quite uncomfortable due to some form of sexual advances made to me by a particular senior colleague. He would often interrupt whatever tasks I had on my desk. After narrating my ordeal to a senior female colleague, she shared some valuable tips with me, which I will in turn relate to you. Then suggest such possible solutions to the problems. She advised that I should avoid, ignore, and then confront him politely if he persists. The last recommendation from her was that I should write a complaint note to the Human Resources Department if the initial tips did not yield positive results. So you'd see that the letter is straight to the point. That's how letters work, because you have a minimum of 150 words. So no long story here. Please do not take any of these problems to heart, as they're entirely not your fault. Do take care of yourself, Frances. Yours sincerely, Rita. I just ended with a first name here, but I use yours sincerely as I should in semi-formal letter. Then the total number of words, see, 198. Almost. The thing was that I wrote this letter and it was like 206 or so. So I just took out some words, took out some sentences to hit.
Hi.
Sorry, you said?
Yeah, so sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to confirm because I realized it's still only Daya that is on the group. So I wanted to confirm if you'll be posting the recording for the others on the WhatsApp group.
Yes, I'll do that.
All right, okay. Thank you very much. So sorry for their absence. The rain is really terrible here. It's affecting everyone's net. So, all right, okay. Let me let you get back to this.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, thank you. So I took out some words, some sentences, just to get it to 198 words, because I consider anything above 200 excess, and it would give even though you finish it in good time, it's like give the examiner like more things to access you on, and it will like not be good for your score. So just keep it simple, between 150 to 200 words. It's very fine. So this is how you write a letter. So what do you think, Ita? It's simple, right?
Yeah, it looks simple.
It's simple. No, if you've been writing, if you've been practicing your essay, then this shouldn't be a problem. Seriously, very easy, because they've already given you like your body paragraph. All this 3 prompts here, these 3 bullet points are your body paragraph. So they've already given you expo. We call it in Nigeria. So very easy. Now, work is being done to the streets where you live. The noise is disturbing you. Write a letter of complaint to your citizen, to your local council. In your letter, introduce yourself, explain what the problem is, suggest solutions to the problem. If you look at this one, it's shorter than the previous one. One is 4 words. So letters are easy to write though. It's just proper spelling, your grammar, and then if you're able to like use good vocabulary, it's fine. You get your scores. So see how I went straight to the point here. No pleasantry, no nothing. No, dear sir, madam, I'm writing to make a complaint about the noisy work going on in our streets. I've gone straight to the first bullet point. My name is Mrs. Mary Perkins, a business developer who resides close to the construction site. See, I'm using, did you notice paraphrasing? See paraphrasing here, construction site. On Thomas Lane, plot 30A. Who resides close to the construction site on Thomas Lane, plot 30A, house 1 to be precise. Then I went on to the next bullet point. I do commend and appreciate the local council's efforts in providing a much better playing ground facility for the neighborhood children. But it has, however, been a tough week for me and my family, as we have had to battle with loud noises generated from the ongoing project. We barely sleep well these days as a result of this issue. So I've given an explanation of the problem here. Then the third one was suggest solutions to the problem. I just went in straight. I recommend that noisy activities should be relegated to the period when most people are out of their homes. That is, they should be carried out only during work or office hours. I think this will go a long way to help many families like mine in the community to enjoy a quiet and peaceful evening at home after a stressful day at work. Then, to the closing, we hope to see some of these improvements soon. Yours faithfully, Mrs. Mary Perkins. And that's all. So I'll tell you that letters are straightforward. You understand? They are quite straightforward. So this next question, you're going to write it now. See the question, just write it down. And so look at the way I put my closing here. Everything is on the left side. And then you just wrote yours sincerely, you put it on the right side. I didn't put your name beneath. So these are the things you should look out for. What's the other? See. Where's the other letter? See, on the left side, everything on the left side. And see where I put my name. After putting, in the case of informal letter, for instance, say, can't wait to see you soon. comma, then you put your first name beneath it.
Yeah.
So we're good to go.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, have a good night rest.
You too.
Take care. Yeah. Bye.